You know, they said that the Democrats are the party of the poor. Now I start to believe them. They want more poor people so they can get more voters. What's interesting is that they are constantly trying to change definitions to reshape reality. A new way of calculating inflation to lower it a little bit. A new way of talking about what a recession is. It is absolutely astonishing. At this point, I firmly believe that if Trump wins the new elections, Mexico will definitely pay for the wall. Not to keep Mexicans from coming into America, mind you. No, to keep Americans from coming into Mexico. I already covered that. Like, it's a big problem. A lot of Californians are moving into Mexican cities, and the Mexicans there are living because the cost of living is exploding. But, you know, apparently the solution to this is to change the definition of recession. You know, maybe have a conversation about what it means to be poor. Like, what exactly is poor? And at the end of the day, is monetary gain really that important? Like, sure, you may not have money to pay for gas, but we are now rich in spirit. I mean, we promote LGBT equality. We talk about inclusion and diversity in schools. You know, we are very rich in spirit as a nation. Even though the gas prices are soaring, even though the lettuce is $10, even though people are talking about eating the bugs, because there's not going to be a lot of meat in the future. You know, if you listen to the World Economic Forum, the World Economic Conspiracy Forum, because everything on that website is about conspiracies. Holy shit. You know, I subscribe to them thinking that they're going to talk about economics, but instead I hear about the Great Reset and living in pods and, like, no, those are conspiracies. But what is interesting is now that the US president made the statement, coming off last year's historic economic growth, just so you can understand, the reason there is growth is because they shut down the economy. So, like, if you're the president and you take the economy from this point and you move it to this point, I mean, it's not a historic growth, right? But if you take the economy down from zero and you take it to, like, half of what it used to be, I mean, that is a historic growth, isn't it? Regaining all the private sector jobs lost during the pandemic crisis. So they shut down businesses, they shut down all of these jobs, and now that they're allowing people to go back to work, they're like, oh, look how many jobs we're creating. I think the Americans used to have a definition for this. It's they're pissing on you and they're telling you that it's raining. I mean, imagine this, you know, like, if you manage to lock someone in their own homes for a week, like, you lock them in their homes. They can't leave. And then you're the one that unlocks them. It's like, I set you free. You know, like, but you're the one that locked them in the first place. It's no surprise that the economy is slowing down as the Federal Reserve acts to bring down inflation. Again, the inflation is only created by the government. The consumers cannot create inflation. Foreign sheiks cannot create inflation. Producers cannot create inflation. The only people that can create inflation are the people that print the money. By definition, that is what inflation is. They printed money. That's what they did. They created inflation. So now, oh, well, the Federal Reserve is acting to bring it down. It's like, why did you brought it up in the first place? And not to mention, like, these were the same people that were telling you inflation was never going to happen. Do you remember that, like, a couple of years ago? It's like, what inflation? It's a conspiracy theory. But even as we face historical global challenges, again, all of them, almost, due to the incompetence of the administration. I mean, after they pulled out from Afghanistan the way they did, in a move that probably stunned all of the strategic analysts across the globe. I mean, we have Bidenomics. I guess we now have Biden tactics, where you first pull the military out, and then you pull the civilians, and then you probably pull the weapons. You know, like any normal person would say, okay, well, first we pull the weaponry, then we evacuate the civilians, then you move the military, right? Isn't that, like, wouldn't that make sense? I mean, I think it would make sense, but that's not what happened. So no wonder the Russians got brazen. It's like, oh, well, with this level of incompetence, it's now or never, I guess Putin must have said. But even as we face historic challenges, we're on the right path. We will come through this transition stronger and more secure. How? Like, you have people at the White House saying that the gas prices are a good thing because the pain is going to motivate people to buy electric cars. I shit you not. Maybe not word for word, but, like, I have heard at least 3 different individuals on television, like, saying, oh yeah, like, this is a great opportunity. An electric car is $50,000, okay? Like, I don't know how people are going to buy them. But like, that is like, oh, it's a great opportunity to transition to green energy. Like, okay, you know, I have a feeling that this level of transition is going to make a lot of people happy. Our job market remains historically strong, with unemployment at 3.6%. Yeah, well, apparently people are going to Mexico to find jobs. I'm just saying. Like, it is interesting. And more than 1 million jobs created in the second quarter alone. Yeah, again, like, after you destroy jobs, you know, you allowed people to riot, burn down the mom and pop shops, and now that the jobs are reopening, you're like, we did this. It's kind of like, you know, imagine if people were to shut down the Capitol. You know, like, let's say massive protest, Capitol is shut down, and then the people leave and they're like, we restore democracy. It's like, dude, are you serious? Like, well, so consumer spending is continuing to grow. Yeah, this is due to inflation. By the way, I already explained it. This is why the prices go up. Like, people are consuming more than it's being produced. You gave people more money, so now they're consuming more than they need. And the problem is there's going to be a shortage in the future. Like, people are going to run out because the consumption isn't backed by production. So that's why inflation causes prices to rise. It's not that all of the producers at the supermarkets, they go and they conspire, hey, let's raise prices because the government printed money. No, you put money in the market, people start buying more than they need, and things run out, and when things run out, the prices go up. So yeah, like, people keep consuming. Yeah, this is normal. Like, I expect this. But it's not sustainable. You know, the word that they like to use, sustainable. Yeah, it's not going to be sustainable. Earlier this week, I met with the chairman for SK Group from Korea, just one of the companies investing more than $200 billion in American manufacturing since I took office, powering a historic recovery in American manufacturing. I mean, this is like a drop in the water, by the way, like 200 billion. Don't get me wrong, it's better than nothing. But until you get the manufacturing back from China, this is just a drop in the water. My economic plan is focused on bringing inflation down. You fucking created inflation. What the fuck are you on about? Without giving up all the economic gains we have made. What economic gains have you made? You shut down the economy, and now that it's back up, you literally consider that every single door that opened, every single new job that's created, that's on you. Congress has a historic chance to do that by passing the CHIPS and Science Act and Inflation Reduction Act without delay. Yes. I just am bewildered. I have never seen a political party act like this. Never. But granted, I'm not from America, okay? I'm from Eastern Europe. Like, people here do not act like this. I mean, they would probably avoid talking about it. They would probably blame the guy previous to them. Like, we have all these economical downturns because of the previous guy. But they wouldn't just, like, change definition and pretend that there's no problem. I mean, imagine if Putin did this, you know? He would pull back from Ukraine and say, oh, I am the man responsible for bringing peace to the Ukrainian people. Give me the Nobel Peace Prize now. It's like, motherfucker, you're the one that brought soldiers there to begin with. Like, what are you talking about? You know, that's not how it works. And of course, you know, on Twitter, the Democrat apparatus is, like, constantly saying, oh, there's no recession, like, everything is fine. I know Americans that are struggling. I know Americans that are middle class and are struggling. You can change all the definitions you want, but at the end of the day, people's belly are going to rumble because $10 a lettuce. We're going to see, you know, at the next election whether or not this tactic is going to work. I mean, what can I say? It's a very interesting strategy. Let's see if it pays out for them. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.